Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the final of the Perth Sevens, the host side Australia taking on the defending champions and Los Pumas. Now this was a match that took place as the final in Cape Town. In that match, Argentina winning at 45 points to 12. That was only 7 weeks ago, and now the Australians on home soil, like I mentioned, they want redemption. Looking through at this Australian starting lineup, it will be Henry Hutchinson, Ben Dowling, Darby Lancaster, Nick Malouf, Maurice Longbottom, Hayden Sargent, and Nathan Lawson. So the two big men in Malouf and Lawson, they've been working together extremely well throughout the rest of the contest. Then for the Argentines, they are undefeated up till this point. Santiago Mare, Luciano Gonzalez, Jermaine Schultz, Marcos Maneta, Joaquin Palantini, Matthias Arachuk, and also Santiago Alvarez, the last man in the starting lineup. We have got Emmanuel in the chat going for Argentina. Also go Argentina. This team has nice structured style of play. They're very well rounded, Argentina. The X factor in this game, you would have to say, maybe just slightly in favour of Australia, mainly because of the way that those two big men get involved. But Argentina, structure-wise, I think are really going to be exciting to watch. Yeah, I know there you are, says Novmum. And Hamish India struggling now. They're 6 down. Yeah, I saw that just before I went onto the stream, and I was like, hang on. That's not how they were sitting. And an ad, no, says Remy. And there's one Australia in the chat. Australia to win by 3 points. Go Australia go. Seems like quite a few people backing the Australians in this contest, but a few going for Argentina, such as Nadro, hoping to see Los Pumas once again defeat Australia in a final. Now, I should mention we saw Ireland in the women's side of things winning the final for the first time ever. Massive victory over the Australian women's side, but the Aussie men, they are fired up. I should mention they do not have Dietrich Roach in the starting lineup. They do not have James or Josh Turner in the starting side, which does mean that they have a real impact coming off the bench here for the Australians. Aussie says Helen Howe in that starting lineup for the Argentines. Of course, Marcos Maneta, and I forgot the Socceroos play tonight. Oh, they'll be playing at the moment, I would think, Remy, if I'm correct. And of course, also India versus England. India now 7 down in their chase up against the English. So it looks like England may chase, or England might beat India in India, which is massive. Can India chase down your prediction now, says Coding? I think they're going to struggle, definitely, because they have just recently lost Aya from the crease. And what is the most popular sport in New Zealand? It is either cricket or rugby. Mainly rugby, I believe, does still take precedence, but cricket is a close second. And I guess because it's summer and winter sport, it means that you get a little bit of both, and you can enjoy both of them at once. Francisco Gonzalez will be the man in charge. I apologize for my voice. We have covered over 30 hours of sport over the weekend. We are now ready to go. Argentina kicking this one off from left to right to get the final of the Perth Sevens underway, and they will be in possession. Marcos Maneta, always good to get the hands on the ball early for that man. Palantini goes across to Luciano Gonzalez. Pens out of one challenge. Now goes on the outside. Luciano Gonzalez, the speedster and the powerhouse of the Los Pumas backline. They are 119 for 7. Says Remy, bit of a loose ball there. And it's going to be knocked on from Argentina. So Australia now will receive the scrum feed. How can India capitulate that bad after such a lead? Says Nick. And also Vamos Pumas, says Nikal. Yeah, at the moment, they have 2 batsmen who haven't faced or haven't got a run, and they have to chase down 112. Now, it's not impossible, but I can tell you right now, we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that test match as soon as this one between Argentina and Australia is over. Another Socceroos play at 9, it says on my TV. Oh, okay, so is that in 5 minutes time, Remy, or is that in an hour and 5 minutes time? Vamos Pumas, says Mikael there. The scrum feed now for Maurice Longbottom and the Australians. About 35 metres out from their own line, so plenty of space to be able to work with. They like going wide to Nathan Lawson when he does find himself out wide. First of all, they're going to go with the speed first. Here comes Sargent charging down the wing, and he's booted the ball. I thought it went out, but it's actually going to be a very good kick There's a pattern developing for Indian team that choke big team in big matches. Now they are losing test matches as well. So yeah, he's coding in 1 hour and 5 minutes. They're playing in Qatar for the AFC Asian Cup round of 16. Geez, there's a lot of sport on, isn't there? I'll have to keep an eye on that one as well, I think. Who are they facing, Remy, in that one? And go, Australia go, says Avakesh, but the line out throw now for Palandini to throw it in for Los Pumas. Nicely taken at the front. The sun is starting to lower in Perth, which does mean there will be times when you're looking straight into the sun. That was a rough pass from Romain Schultz, but luckily for Argentina, they have retained the ball. Palandini goes across now to the left-hand side. Go Pumas, 7 today we win, says Juan Inacio Pedrozo, I should say. And good evening, says Marius. Welcome in, mate. Now Palandini again gets his hands on the ball. Within the first 2 minutes, we have already seen that man touch the ball 5 times. Men's Under-19 Cricket World Cup also going on in South Africa. Says coding Indonesia, but we've been playing so bad, we only score 1 or 2 goals in the second half. Says Remy, nice running forward here though for Mare, moving up to the halfway line. Romain Schultz back across to the left-hand side, looking for the loose offload. Once again, it is slap back. Very scrappy start to this final for both of the sides. But here comes Luciano Gonzalez to try and add a bit of structure. Look for the offload. It's taken by Australia. Oh. I'm not sure whether or not he knocked that ball on, the Australian, because, you know, he's possibly not knocked it on when he gets up and asks me for the knock on. But I've also said that maybe there was a forward pass from Argentina in the build-up. Let's go Argentina, says Simran. And Australia lose Hoy, says it was there from Juan, but I believe that was Hayden Sargent. Okay, we've already heard the commentators say it was an interesting way of looking at it for Francisco Gonzalez. And Australia go, boys, says Helen Howe. And Blues Nate with the fist there from Mikel. So is New Zealand 6 hours ahead of Perth. We are 5 hours ahead. So currently for us, we are 11 p.m. Hang on, what's happened here? Nathan Lawson is now getting yellow carded. The referee, I don't know what that's for. What is it for? Okay, in the act of tackling, he's connected. We'll see a replay here. This will tell us a little bit more. I'm not sure how that's a yellow card. I don't even see how that's a penalty. They've considered it a deliberate knockdown when Nathan Lawson has slapped the ball back towards his own try line. The people watching the big screen are in disbelief. I have no idea why that's been called the way that it has. Referee taking control of this game, maybe not for the right reasons. And now all of a sudden, Marcos Maneta will run and he will be able to beat the defenders down the wing. Try to Argentina. But should it be? One of the more interesting scenarios we have found ourselves watching on the Perth Sevens there. He was flying down the wing, Marcos Maneta. I'm still stumped about that yellow card. Australia now at a huge disadvantage after that one. And hey, Hermano, big love Hermano in there. And go Pumas Sevens, says Nadro. But it's going to be the try for Marcos Maneta. The only thing I can think is maybe he was offside at the time that he slapped it back or something along those lines to make it slightly worse. And let's go, says Blues Nate. This is an Argentina sport. They need to learn who the GOAT is from their country. Says Remy, although they did beat Australia in the last final 45 points to 12. It was actually the largest losing margin for any side ever in the history of sevens for a final. And Argentina did it to the Aussies. But now Australia, they are in possession. They have this time got the penalty. I think they've said that that's the penalty against Luciano Gonzalez for playing the man in the air. That is normally a yellow card, but it is just given as a penalty here. It's kicked into touch. Yeah, I forgot about that. Says Remy. And go the Pumas, 7 wins. Says Juan. Yeah, playing him in the air. Normally a yellow, but in this case, just a warning for Argentina. There will be the knock on there from the Australians. I already feel like there's a mountain starting to build for the Aussies to start to climb. But the Pumas, they are a clinical side. They are the only undefeated team at this stage of the competition. Australia losing twice in their group stage, whereas Argentina have made their way all the way through, beating South Africa. Beaten a few other top opposition as well along the way in these sevens. The time off now. Looks like there is another injury, this time for the Australians. The sin bin has also come to a close, and Nathan Lawson back out there on the field. Been one of the standout players for the Australians throughout their last couple of games. My prediction's gone wrong for the second time. Picked Australia to win and now India, but I'm happy. Says coding there. Although we should mention India are not out of that game as of yet. Ashwin can still bat. So I'm actually hoping it goes to tomorrow so that we can actually cover it on the channel. That would be quite cool if that was an option. Now going to the left-hand side here. Big attack and run from Palandini. Offload on the inside to Jermaine Schultz. Drew him backwards in what was a solid tackle coming in from the Aussies. Now Santiago Alvarez. It was actually Lawson who put in the big hit, so I feel like he showed some of his frustrations from the way that he made that tackle. Ball available for Marcos Manera. Quick hands going out wide to Jermaine Schultz. Tackled by Henry Hutchinson. Penalty goes against the Australians for Hutchinson not being able to roll away. 1 minute 20 remaining in this first half. Currently Argentina still leading by 7. The crowd is silenced at the moment. I feel like that yellow card really took the wind out of the crowd's voice. Or the sound out of their voice. Australia Sevens Cup finals, they have played 28 but only won 9. 32% win completion rate. Whereas for Argentina, they have played 23 and they have won 7 with a 44% completion rate, including the last leg. Michael Hooper out there. Missed entire tourney, but always there for the climax, says Elon. So he is not. He will be joining from the Vancouver Sevens onwards, as the sounds of it. And same with Antoine Dupont, will be the other man coming in for the French. Discipline boys, go Aussie, says Helen Howe. And just getting penalised there at scrum time. The Australians. I love how you know how to pronounce their names. So here's Remy going off to the right-hand side. Now loose ball, Murray. Cross to Luciano Gonzalez. Trying to go through Maurice Longbottom, his opposite number, but he has held onto his leg and he was not going to be letting go. Azutsuk now taking his time. Running sideways here. Trying to break through. Good hands from Nathan Lawson. The ball's chucked into touch. And Australia and Argentina only 7 points in the first half. 7-0 to Los Pumas. And now, second half, just around the corner. This is going to be considered the hardest 7 minutes for the Australians of this tournament. And they have already lost 2 games. But they need to dig deep and they need to try and stop this momentum that Argentina currently have. All possession in that first half, aside from before that yellow card, has been going the way of Argentina. Only a couple touches for the Australians, but not really able to make the most of the territory. Pumas Sevens wins, says Juan Ignacio Pedroso, and also Kamenos, says Hanoi. And there as well. But do let me know, ladies and gents, anyone who knows Argentina, what time is it currently in Argentina? I feel like it's the middle of the night, but I could be wrong. Michael Hooper heard Joe Schmidt coach the Wallabies. He's on his way, says Blues Nate. And there as well. And it's 7. Oh, okay, so a nice early morning start for the final for Los Pumas. So I'm sure there will be plenty of celebrations all throughout the day as the Pumas look to close in on another title. Like I mentioned, 44% of the time they win in their matches in the final. Last time up against the Australians, winning comfortably. Now, second half just around the corner for the Australians. I believe they will try and make subs early. They've got Josh and James Turner that they can bring onto the field. Alongside that, they have also got some very handy options when it comes to pace. Matthew Gonzalez, Dietrich Roach. Then for the Argentines, they've got Agustin Fraha, Gaston Revol, Rodrigo Irgro. A lot of experience I guess we are in Amish mode here. Early morning matches. And Vamos Pumas, says Alejandro there. And breakfast maybe. And good morning to you, hermano, says Blues. Nate there, but halftime, 7 points the difference. And Brazil needs to get into seventh. They came ninth in the women's sevens side of things. They actually beat South Africa in the women's Brazilian matchup. Now Australia to kick this one off from left to right, I believe. If Hutchinson has had anything to say about it, they will kick to the top side, straight into the sun, and make it hard for Los Pumas. We are closing in on what is the crescendo of another competition in the Sevens circuit. They have kicked off to the other side, and that's going to be nicely slapped back. Australia in possession. Trying to hold on to that one is Azad Sook, and it's going to be wrestled forward. Another knock-on from the Australians. And well, bet the South Africans love good stuff, says Hanoi. How the F's named to Australia lose 2 games and make a final. Home advantage cheats. It's like sandpaper, unbelievable. It's not so much that. It's just the fact that their points differential was not the worst out of the 3 third-place teams. Unfortunately, with the new format of having 12 teams rather than 16, it means that rather than the top 2 from each group going through, the 2 best third-place teams make their way through. So it actually meant that Australia went through rather than New Zealand because of their points differential, and also I think because of the points that they had on the board. But now going off to the right-hand side here for Argentina. Alvarez goes to Marcos Maneta. Now to the left-hand side again. Big run up the middle from Rodrigo Isgro off to Jermaine Schultz. They've got numbers on the outside. He just bulldozes over the top of Maurice Longbottom. And they'll score another try between the posts. They are on fire at the moment. Argentina now leading 12 points to 0. They will soon be 14. Isgro to Jermaine Schultz, who steps around the tackle attempt of Maurice Longbottom. Full steam ahead, like trying to stop a freight train with a toothpick. It isn't going to work. That almost wasn't even a sentence. Now let's go, says Mikhail. And Neymar could score heaps of tries, says Hanoi. And Brazil would be great for sevens. And also the Kieran emojis and the tries from Novmum there as well. But the kick over the post. And now it makes the score 14-0 with only 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Australia are going to have to dig extremely deep. And I said they'd have to when they were 7-0 down. There's a stupid setup. Gives the weak teams hope, says Elon. Yes, it was always more simple with 16. It also meant that we got to see teams like Kenya on the 7 circuit, Japan, Germany, Tonga, all these sides now missing out because of the smaller format. Come on, Aussie, says Helen Howe, but the knock-on this time going against Los Pumas. Been quite a scrappy final so far in terms of the handling. Bad day for Aussie sport and rugby, or cricket and rugby, lol, says Hanoi. Yeah, not quite getting off to the start of 2024 that they were after, or at least this stage, closing out January. Maurice Longbottom to put this ball in. 4 minutes 30 remaining in the half. I see that Augustin Fraha. I believe he is on the field alongside Graziano. Now Dietrich Roach trying to break through the line. I should mention if we are tied at the end of 14 minutes, they do go to golden point time. Trying to find that next pass. Loose ball sits up for Argentina. Inside ball to Graziano, who puts it down. And another mistake made by the Australians leads to the 3rd try of the match now for Argentina. They are becoming a superpower in the 7 circuit. Who is going to be able to beat them? Let's go, Los Pumas, says Remy. Yeah, pressure being put on the Australians, causing 50-50 passes, as Kaltanana said, and then the ball just sits up for Argentina, and they score again. They should have used Hooper, says Hanoi, although the reason behind not using Hooper, he is actually there at the ground, but he said that he wasn't ready yet. So he didn't want to jump in just in case he didn't completely have it mastered. The kick is good. 21 points to 0. And now with 3.5 minutes remaining, Argentina are in the absolute box seat, the best position that they could have been in. And Argie, oi, says it was there from Blues Nate. At least it's not televised in Oz. No one will see the boys lose. Says Hanoi. Now Gaston Revol, experienced veteran, 37 years of age, back out there on the field for Argentina, closing in on yet again another gold. And back-to-back titles for Argentina. I don't know when the last time was that they won back-to-back legs, but they're about to do it. Kicked high by the Pumas. Nicely taken by Darby Lancaster. For Australia to have any chance in this game, they have to score a line break try extremely soon. 3 minutes remaining. Dietrich Roach now going off to the left-hand side. Nice run from Lawson. And Grande Los Pumas, says Roberto. Now back across. Nick Maloof goes to Maurice Longbottom. He's gone through one gap, but Marcos Manera able to shut him down pretty much instantly. Dowling trying to break through, and the Pumas win another penalty. This time it's Marcos Manera. Australia getting frustrated. Will Oz leave with the donut? There is the possibility of that being the case. Another scrum peg called by Los Pumas. Only 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest before they close out. Yet again, another title. You can see the frustration on the face of the crowd. Ole, ole, ole. I haven't heard that song in ages. Says Remy. And also we have got there, come on Pumas, win and grow the game and teach the Brazilians how to play. Says Hanoi, we've got another donation from Blues Nate. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated for your generosity over this weekend. Vamos los Pumas. Muito obrigado, champion. Says Roberto there. Now, penalty has been won by Argentina again at scrum time. So they will take on the scrum once more. This will use up an extra 25 seconds. And let's go. Que les vamos, says Blues Nate. And Aussies, cricket you lost now again, says Helen. Yeah, it hasn't been a great day for the Australians at the moment. But the good thing about Australian sport is they always come back. And the Australians, #1 test side in the world for cricket, they will fight back. This Sevens side from Australia, they're ranked 6th at the moment up against the Argentines, who are ranked #1. They will be back. I think that's just the beauty of sport. There are upsets, there are unpredictable moments, but Australia are always going to be relatively competitive. Now 1 minute 40 remaining, just 100 seconds on the clock now for the Argentines. Gaston Ravol puts the ball in. Going off to the right-hand side, Marcos Manera. Another step, he goes straight through. And he'll score the 4th try of the match for the Argentines. They are just rubbing it in now. The skill level of Marcos Manera and his Pumas team. They are flying towards another title. And on Island 1, says Noman, very true. The Irish women's side getting their first ever win in a Sevens leg. So massive for Irish rugby there. The Blues, I don't know if you meant to do the same one again, but if you did, thank you very much. If you didn't, then I do apologise that you've accidentally done it twice. Vamos, lads and champions again. Los Pumas, thanks for the transmission. Says Roberto, and Moneta is fast. Says Hanoi, he certainly is lightning quick. They call him Marcus Money Moneta. You can see why when you see him running hard. 40 seconds remaining. Argentina retain the ball again. Offload on the inside to Rodrigo Isgro, who lobs it over the top. It's another try for Argentina. They are just rubbing it in big time now. Vamos los Pumas, says Remy, and pizza money, says Hanoi there. To be fair, I really think I'm going to get a pizza tomorrow. I have to travel 30 minutes there and back to get said pizza, but I think it's a great idea after the long weekend we've had. Like I said, we've done over 30 hours of commentary. The voice is feeling it. The tired eyes are feeling it, but come to a conclusion in only another 20 or so seconds time. Big wins at the sports bet. Cheers. Argentina, big love, yo. Says Blues. Nate, who did you back? Nate, out of curiosity, did you back the West Indies? Because I know a lot of people made a lot of money back in the West Indies. I thought you were getting it today. Says Remy, sadly it is 11:15 p.m. So I didn't actually get a chance to go because it is an hour away with your drive there and back. Your man's today, or your work, today, Hamish, is on an amazing day. Says Gus, but that ball has been kicked out on the full by Argentina, who now sit 31 points to 0 up in this matchup. Australia want to have one last crack at the line. See if they can walk away with more than 0 on the board. Ireland won in the women's. Now with the Pumas Sevens men's win. Now going back across the right-hand side for Gonzalez. Oh, big driving tackle from Augustin Fraha. Passion still on display for Argentina. Cross kick from Maurice Longbottom. Sits up now out wide. Nathan Lawson trying to bust his way through Rodrigo Isgro in off his feet. So the penalty does go against the Argentinians. And even if Australia score now, of course, it doesn't win them the game. But it takes just a little bit of wind out of the sails of the Argentinians. Matthew Gonzalez, he will score it in the corner. And that will close out the game. Australia do not lose to 0, but they do still lose this contest. Your love for your hard works, boss, says Blues Nate. And great to see Isgro again, says Mikhail. Yeah, fantastic player, Rodrigo Isgro. And great finish from Matthew Gonzalez right in the corner to put an end to the Perth Sevens. It will be remembered that the last try of the Perth Sevens was scored by an Australian, but the title of the first ever Perth Sevens was going home to Argentina. And Pumas Sevens win, says Juan there. And also Pumas Sevens win. And the chat as well, but 31 points to 5. Once again, a convincing win there for the Argentinians over Australia. But that will conclude our coverage for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are hopefully going to be covering some of India versus England tomorrow if that match is still going. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all next week during the week for some more cricket, rugby, Six Nations next weekend, plus Super Rugby preseason all taking place here on the channel as well. But thanks all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.